G'day and welcome back for more Survival Impossible, and with the food update having happened, we've now got a different food. We've got keen food. And that means I'm gonna starve soon if I don't prep for it because I have no food. I have nothing. My thing that used to have the food in it no longer has any, so I better get onto that. I will also hopefully start doing some prep work for making a better canary replacement, because the last one did not go well. It needs some work. Also, I'm really glad that that warning sign was there, because the drop pod is perfectly in the shade and I almost reversed into it. I've made it so that Omicron should have mushrooms somewhere. I don't know where. I've also not made it so that it has spiders, because with my base arranged the way it is, and with spiders being what they are, I thought that would actually make it easier. Because, you know, I've got guns. It's not like the spiders are going to be hard to kill. The thing that's going to be hard is feeding myself if I don't have access to meat that comes home delivered. One of my first thoughts for where to get an algae farm going, and I need to do it quickly, is on top of here, replacing these turrets. Speaking of turrets, I have to actually do it super quick. Sorry, turret, you're gonna have to go. This one can stay, so I can get that. Then algae farm. Maybe this will get me enough to survive the night. Maybe not. I might be sitting there, like, just huffing on the survival kit, trying not to die. We will find out. I really wish this recording had started in the morning, not at night. I didn't think that part through. I think my health bar has enough time to get me through one night, though. Next output in 7 minutes. 6 minutes. Cool. Let's try... What can I do to get another quick bit of algae farm set up? Maybe on some of the other buildings so I could fit some. Which building would make most sense? I think maybe don't worry about which one makes sense, and maybe just do them. Just make them. Just get them going. In fact... Oh! Yeah! Okay. I know exactly where to put them. I need some interior plate. On top of the posts. Along this way. The post that I don't have something on, I can put a farm on. Come on. Let me up. Rotten thing. Time is a-wasting. Daylight is going. Okay, so that's 2 down. I think I'll be alright. Ow. Yep, that was a bit of a risk to jump off there, but I didn't really feel like I had a choice. I think there's some legitimate cause for concern in terms of my survivability here, but I think because I've got resources available to me, and it's not like I'm rushing to get the stuff to make these, really shouldn't be too much of a problem. But what is a problem is making, kind of getting enough of these that I can have an excess, but also getting some foods that are good enough so that I don't have to constantly be eating or carrying around a huge amount of food. And, that might be a little bit of a long-term goal. Okay, so that's 3 down. Sun's still nice and high enough that I should get more. Looks like I've put wind turbines on the rest of them, though. So no more of these. With those done, I think I've got a reasonable amount coming in that should keep me alive as I think about where I'm going to put around here some sort of structure that can house the food production while it is just algae. Obviously, the arboretum is perfectly suited for growing the other crops because I can put the crop plots down in there, and because it's pressurized, it'll work. But out here, I think for algae, I think I need a new building. Oh, actually, unknown signal. Are you gonna have food? You might. I should not run over there. I will run out of oxygen. I should probably take a vehicle. And this one's conveniently right here. And I can go and grab that drop pod when I come back. I should also get rid of... I have way too many things on my HUD. There are a lot of broadcasts that I need to turn off. I do need to make sure all my antennas turn off on all my different vehicles. What's that there? Oh, just some scrap. Now I need to go to these unknown signals because these may well be a source of seeds for me. Nope, just clang crunchies and an unknown meal pack. Looks odd, smells strange, maybe it's still good. Are you hungry enough to take the risk? Unknown effects. I mean, I'm tempted. I'm not gonna lie, I'm tempted. Just for the funniness of it. Sometimes rolling the dice is fun in and of itself. Alright, so no seeds, but I might have to keep going to unknown signals to see if I do get lucky and get some seeds. There's a lot of just junk around here. Oh! Is this scrap potentially stuff that made it down from space? Or is this little bits of armor? Oh, this is little bits of armor. This would all be from old drones that I shot down. Or the ones I shot down last week. Yeah, last time. Oh, I know what I should do with the food. Don't make a building. Let's just make some tracked algae arrays that are kind of near the arboretum and are attached to the arboretum by some sort of raised supports, I think would be the best look. Let's have a look over here. What can we do? I think maybe I could build a bridge over and put like 2 supported algae farms over here that track the sun, and that'll provide ample algae. Now I've obviously removed the VSE mod, which means my HUD is back to normal, which also means my locking should be fixed. So on top of the food changes to the vanilla, we've also changed to vanilla radiation, which means if I stay in the sun up in space, I will get irradiated. I put it to the highest level because I'm me. But compared to the radiation I was dealing with before, it's probably easier because, you know, I just have to stay out of the sun. Alright, so where's going to be the best spot to put the conveyor connection through so that I can hook up to something over on the far side of this roadway that I painted on here? Because I'm thinking maybe the tracking farm should be over here. And I don't really think that going underground makes a lot of sense. That's a lot of digging to do that I don't really want to do. So I will go overhead, but I need to go high enough. That kind of makes me want to go from this point up there, because that's going to give me more clearance to begin with. So if I grind out that whole block and turn it into like an armored conveyor, maybe that'll look alright. Yay, I was worried that the railings were going to fall. I'm glad they didn't. I'm going to go and grab my welder ship now so that I can place down the other blocks. Although, actually, I should probably do a risky thing first. I need to hop up on this railing. Oh, and place a hinge. Because I want to be able to adjust the height here. And of course I did that without actually grabbing the steel plate first. Terrifying. The good part about building this before I get to using the welding ship is that I can then adjust its height and things like that. My plan is to make this one fairly straightforward. So this hinge connection, unlike a lot of the other ones, is just going to be 2 hinges perfectly matched by angles so that the other end will be perfectly square and we can just go straight down. I'm just going to check how much algae I've got. 13 already. So cool. I've got 2 crisps worth. So I should be alright. Plus this mystery food. And the Clang Crunchies, which is also sort of mystery food. Check what's on the ship. Nothing. We're going to need interior plate, steel tubes, some motors, and construction components, because this is going to be conveyors we're building. Then I need to decide how I'm going to build the supports for these. Thrusters on, unlock. Wow, I would love to go around to all my grids here and spend some time upgrading them all so that they've got event controllers for docking. Alright, so I'm bringing this up. I'll bring it up to maybe 30 degrees. And that should hopefully give me enough height over the roadway that I'm not going to block the building of any particular vehicles. My worry was that I end up blocking something at some point. That'd be really annoying. Get rid of the bit that I accidentally placed. Oh. That's a problem. Didn't leave enough room to put the landing gear down. It's going to lock this down and have it all nice and done, but no. It is so much better making these towers when I can do the landing gear locked to the ground thing and convert. There's every now and then it doesn't work. And it is so much nicer when it does than having to, well, do the whole merge block shenanigans that I'd done in the past. So that gets complicated and gets real slow. I must not have brought the right parts. Okay, and then make this about 9 blocks wide. I think should be wide enough for most small grid vehicles to get through. Let's have a look at how it actually looks as I move back from it though as well. So I wanted it to feel wider than tall. And it kind of feels identically wide as tall at the moment. But I think that'll have to do. Maybe I go 10. What I am doing is not doing subgrids for the gateway, but I will do another pair of subgrids to bring the tracking array parts down a block. because I don't want them to be set this high for their base. I kind of want to make a little solar farm with a few of them in the same place together. All right, I can tilt. I was tilting back and going, I can't really do this. And I forgot that I can actually just tilt my camera, and that'll work too. For placement. Even if it doesn't work for left right, which is a bit annoying. I kind of wish we could do cockpit placement and look to the sides and place as well. If we could do that, it'd make the feature a bit more useful at least. Though I do feel like now that I've got the workarounds for it that people taught me, it's a lot less frustrating to use than it was when I had no idea why I couldn't place blocks and would just be like, rah, 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 rah. Can't do it. I give up. I'm gonna go back to flying on a platform and welding by hand, which was fun too. So, you know, it wasn't all bad. But yeah, being able to place from cockpit on these no jetpack or seriously bad jetpack type runs, it is nice. Oh, I may have overloaded this a little bit. Does not like to be anything but nearly perfectly horizontal. Oh, sinky sink. Much sinky sink. So what I'm thinking is up, cross, down, and then maybe build 4 little farms using the half block algae farms, because I think they'll look best. These ones look alright, but I think these want to look, the half algae farms will look even better set up on a solar array style setup. But I want 4 of them so they're all tracking and moving together, because I think that'll look cooler than just having one bigger one. Can I walk up this? Well, I can jump up it, so that's good. Oh. I welded the hinge part before welding the hinge. So annoying when I do that. Got something I needed to do. I was meaning to come up here, weld up the hinge so that I could use it, and then grind off the T-piece that I accidentally placed. But I forgot one of those steps. It was the T-piece. Because I figured shooting something that I'd accidentally welded partly had a chance of damaging stuff around it. As I... Especially since I've got the cinematic rifle. Not as accurate as you might want. Yeah, we'll go nice and close to the ground so these things aren't super tall. There's a part of me that was tempted more than once to change to use some of the pipe blocks instead of the original conveyor. I've stuck with the original conveyor for pretty much everything though, because I've got it everywhere already. And I thought mixing and matching, unless you've got a very clear delineation of one does one thing, one does another thing, like if you've got a gas line that's the round one and the conveyors are the full conveyor block, I think it'd probably look a bit messy and wouldn't look as good as just having all of one type. Especially as I don't actually mind what the regular conveyors look like. I think they look pretty good for what they do. Oh no! Oh! Ooh. Yeah, I need to be really careful. Pressing down, because I'm very heavily laden, and that is the second thing I've crashed into. That gives me enough room for the landing gear. Use the landing gear's auto lock to lock this. Create a static grid. Convert to station. Build up the support. We'll grind this away. Alright, clear these off, and then we can start talking about what I have in mind, because I have decided on a plan, and it took me a little while. And some of you might have noticed that it was taking me a little while to figure out what I was going to do, but I have a plan. So 4 little solar arrays, which I'm thinking of solar arrays, spaced out in a little square. I'll have a little control room with the turret controllers in it. Although I might even put those over in the Arboretum, since I've got this downstairs food prep area, which isn't actually going to need to have many blocks, because there aren't many blocks in the vanilla game for this sort of stuff. So this area is going to be pretty empty, so I can probably put the turret controllers down there. So what I should need to do for this is basically just build the catwalk. Now I'm just trying to think of what to do with the conveyor. I think if I do it as a C going away and then coming back, maybe I can then have the catwalks all in the middle. Let's try that out. Let's see how that might look. So we'll come along a couple of blocks, because we don't want to, I don't want to put the first tower right here, because it's a bit close to those conveyors. So we'll move out 3. Oh my gosh. I have been way too hasty with my placement of blocks today. Let's not do that. Let's do this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 5's probably gonna give it decent enough space. And then I can just use the hinge limits and rotor limits to make sure that these don't run into each other. And a junction, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another junction, and then back this way. I think that'll look pretty cool. I think it'll especially be fun being able to stand in the middle and have them all moving around me. So let's get the catwalk built so I can weld all this up. Yeah. Nice inspection area. I think it needs some sort of supports though, so what I might add, see if I can do something with the truss pillars. Yeah, I think that's gonna help, and then we'll put one in the middle of these ones. Because these ones look a bit more supported because they actually get right up next to these posts, whereas those ones are sort of floating out there, so just felt a bit weird. I'm gonna guess that I might want to get at least one of these towers finished by the time daylight comes. So that I, just in case my food supplies are a bit of an issue, because I'm at 42 food. I've got enough for a couple of crisps. If not for that unknown signal, well, if the unknown signal food doesn't fill me very much, it could get tight. One of the thoughts that I had this week when I was like, oh, what to do? Should I make my farm, like make a commercial farm over at the ice lake? Because that's where all the water is. And I was like, how many times do you really have to travel to get food though? Like, it's probably not going to be a big enough volume to really change the way I play the game. So I was like, oh, maybe not. I'm very curious what's going to happen with the asteroids now that I've gotten rid of any mods that might be messing with the asteroid composition when I go back up to space. So I'm going to have to go scout out the stuff that was nearby again, because with no more impure ores existing, I could find anything out there. We're back to pure vanilla stuff. There is a part of me that's kind of like, well, maybe I should nerf the asteroids a bit and see if I can figure out a way to mess with them so that I have to go to like another planet to get uranium. But given that I don't know how to do that, and I don't think it's really going to change much, I decided not to. So it's going to be advanced, rotor, and then a hinge on top. Pretty straightforward, usual sort of style. I couldn't think of anything more exciting to do shape-wise. I haven't really seen a lot of other examples because it's kind of, you're a bit limited in what you can actually even attempt with these. Because at a certain point, you're just kind of like, well, just, it needs to be able to point at the sun. There are practical demands on these things. So what we need to do is make sure that there is a single block that I can put the camera on, although I can probably put a top-mounted camera on. But what I should be able to have for this is a chain of conveyors. Just debating which style. I think maybe T-armored is the way to go. No. No, I've got an idea. That's not the right way to go about this at all. I hope that. I think the scrap might have landed on the hinge, so let's just tip it over and see if it falls off. Yep. That would have been really annoying. So when looking at the conveyor types to use here, I often find that when I use hinges, I want to use the square ones because the hinges are slightly square themselves. But maybe I'll go with the conveyor pipes for this. And we'll go with, say, 4 per block. Because I need to also have a camera with this, and because conveyor blocks don't provide me an attachment to put it on, yes, I definitely do have the parts, I need to put some sort of block on the end of this, and I'm trying to think what's going to look the least bad. I'm leaning towards one of these guys. Let's see how it... see if having these half algae farms on here will help me figure it out. Oh, no, I placed that one upside down. I want the bubbles going the correct direction. That makes sense with gravity. Thank you very much. Oh, hang on. Yes! Look at that! The top-mounted camera can go straight on the half one. Yes! Oh, yes, so happy. Okay, so that means I can do this. Put a corner one at the end. Then put another flat one, another half algae farm on. Then go for the camera. That just sits tidily up there. Oh, heck yeah. Might be able to use the hinge to be able to get this low enough that I can weld it without using the welding ship. Maybe even grind off the lower one. Oh, that's so good. I was really worried about the camera placement because I'm like, oh, I can't place it on the end of the conveyor. I can't do... But I dislike that it sticks out a bit. But I think in the scheme of things, that's so much better. I haven't checked to see whether you can stick a camera on the vertical ones on the top of them. You probably can, so you could probably do a similar thing if you don't have this DLC, like do it with the tall ones, the ones that look like the oxygen farms. Though I did notice I've got a half oxygen farm as well. How does that look with the camera sticking out? Yeah, it's not ideal, but it's really not that bad. So another thing to note with this update that changes how I do things around here, all those concerns about refill stations needing gold, yeah, they don't need gold anymore. So I can build them everywhere. Now that I've got gold, they don't need gold. And honestly, you know what? I'm okay with that. It meant that I had the fun of feeling like I achieved something with them, and now I can just build them willy-nilly and I don't have to think about it, because they're just a bit of cobalt. Says the man without a cobalt mine, whose only source of cobalt has been a couple of boulders that I've mined. Yep. Now I do have the welder ship there, and yes, I could load it up with these parts. However, it uses a lot of power, and so I don't want to have to worry about recharging it. I want to just use it when I need it. Yeah, I think this looks alright from this side. Now these are moving, so I'm thinking I maybe don't cover them in frost and I'll go to battered. I might even paint them red and yellow to go on, to continue on with my fast food theme I've got going on. If that's east, I can call this one southwest, because that would be north, east, south, and west. So this would be southwest corner, so I've got a name for each of the rotors and hinges. Algae farm rotor. What did I decide this was? West? Yes, southwest. No. So one of the things with painting these that I was worried about is if I painted the whole thing, it's going to look pretty garish. But if I just paint the outside and just put something down here, hopefully it won't, because it'll be a bit more subtle. Part of me is even tempted to leave these in build state because they look kind of cool. Let's go have a look at what state the Arboretum's in, because I'm going to come in here and build the custom turret controllers. We've now got conveyors in the floor and nothing else, because all the mod blocks are gone. That's fine. Similarly in here, we're missing a bunch of stuff, but it gives us room to put down the custom turret controllers, because we're only going to need, like literally the only thing I'm going to need in here is going to be a an irrigation block. I don't think there's anything else I need to put in here. So we can rearrange this place considerably and put the custom turret controllers down and do stuff like that. I am hungry. Thank you. Azimuth rotor. Be all the way somewhere. Algae farm rotor southwest. Elevation rotor. Algae farm hinge. Assigned camera. Algae farm camera. Always aim at sun. I really hope this doesn't run into anything as it fixes itself up. And then I'll set up some rotor and hinge limits to make it so it's not likely to run into things. And survival kit, give me some health back. Then what I'm going to do is have the survival kit make me some kelp crisps. Actually, let's make the food processor, it's quicker. All right, production. Kelp crisps. Infinite. Where did my algae go? I had algae. Got 38 of it. What? Oh dear. We're not connected. Why? I know why. Let's just make sure I'm correct. This part is not connected to that part because it was reliant on stuff that's now gone from the floor. Let's cut this up, turn this into conveyors. Hooray! Production is started. Let's try out some of these unknown foods first. So unknown. Consumables, nope. Food items, here we go. Oh what, I can't put the unknowns on my hotbar? Oh man. Alright, here we go. Unknown food, what's it gonna do? My food is going up. I didn't take any health point damage, so I guess that went fine. I guess I'm gonna be okay. More than okay, because that looks like it's almost giving me full food. I think it is giving me full food. Yep. Yeah, back at full. Sweet. And this is why I did That makes me really glad that I didn't cheese in and just be like, hey, I'm just going to spawn myself some food to survive until I get the food. Nah, it was never a worry. It was always going to be fine. Okay, so hinge, you should probably not go further than maybe 40 degrees. Yeah, I think that's going to look good. Having 4 of these over here. They shouldn't run into each other because they're all going to be moving in the same direction. I hope. Unless I set one of them up wrong. So I'll get these built, and then, with food sorted, I can get back to the train and get back to my drone. Because I still need to fix my drone up. I need a drone that can actually fight. My plan on the drones is actually to build an automated combat vehicle. Something that I can bring in as a wingman, either with an unmanned drone like I've been flying, or with a manned fighter that's really more of a gunship because it'd be turreted rather than fixed weapon. So my job is to avoid getting hit while the turrets do the work for me. And the wingmen do the work as well. Because if I can have a couple of drones around me, they're effectively the best decoys I can have because the enemy drones will go after them before me. So I think I've got to change my tactical approach a lot. And if I go gunship, I can also then equip whatever I'm flying with bigger guns to hit enemy positions at ranges they can't hit me back from. Wow, I really do have a lot of hinges and rotors on this save. Oh, because of all those connections. Where are the algae ones? I'm trying to set all them up. It's just... Oh. Okay, they are near the bottom. Good. So I've done southwest, let's do southeast. Oh, I'm hearing clanging sounds. Bad wrong? Can I get third person and see what's going on? Oh, no. Okay, it's not too bad. Just gotta get that last one placed. Hopefully it doesn't destroy anything until then. Last one. Northwest. Alright, last one's set up. Let's get all the algae farm hinges. And all of these are going to get shared inertia tensor. And hopefully, they should remain quite stable and be happy. Let's go have a look. I've even put lights on them. Because, you know, want to be able to see these things so I don't crash into them at night. This tree here is a little bit of a problem, but I think I've got the hinges so they don't go far enough. That means it shouldn't run into them. They shouldn't run into the tree at least. I reckon this is going to look alright. In the daytime. I might want some actual catwalk level lighting. Obviously the pipes are going to be on the back side because they're trying to at the moment face towards the sun, which is down there somewhere. And they'll flip around for sunrise, which is clearly still a fair ways off. I do think I need some stair level lighting. Well, how should I do that? I suppose I can stick them on the side of the rotors, maybe? I wonder if I can make a little light post that won't be in the way of the... Hopefully won't be in the way of these. Middle, and then one more curve. So I just need to get up on top again. Curve like that, and then a light. I think... Oh, wait, it has to be one of the interior... I was feeling so confident about this. I was overconfident. Oh well, these are outdoor lights. They can be just the basic light. You know what? That doesn't look too bad. I don't mind it. And it is out of the way of the things because it's below the height of the hinges. That's perfect. But yeah, I don't mind it. I really like the truss pillars as lighting fixtures. They do a really good job of serving as a light post. Because they're narrow enough that they don't feel like you've overbuilt it by... a few thousand tons of capability. And I could have used stuff like this one to get the post into the right position. So if I go with the curve like I had, and then if I went with the slanted one back, I could have then gone the bigger curve and then had the corner lights on there, but I think that'd look weirder than just going with what I've done. Just be like, why is that contorted in so many strange ways? Because game limitations, dang it! Because game limitations. We don't have those blocks. As someone who's built some very large solar tracking arrays in the past, I really like this style of thing now, where you go with multiple smaller ones rather than one large one. The big ones are cool in their own way, but having all of these multiple grids tracking the sun looks really impressive when it's working. And when it's moving at a speed, you can actually appreciate the movement. Plus, you know, there's a functional advantage to this size, which is that you can add to it as you want to over time and make it bigger and bigger by just adding another thing to it.
Health critical.
Whoa, whoa. I was just... that was really close. Oh man. Let's get some health back. I was just walking back going, do I need one more light? I think I need one more light. Just on this side of the farms. And took a few too many steps back and had left this welder on, which is not ideal. And slightly barbecued myself. Just a touch. Just a touch. I guess one advantage of building at night is that I have realized just how little lighting that there is around here and the need to put some in so that I can see down here if I ever have to come down here for something. But also just so when I'm driving past it or flying past it, I can see it all, which is nice. Because I do, like, as far as my bases go, I've actually got a fair bit of lighting around here. You can see where every building is. Every building has external lighting. And, well, actually, every building does not have external lighting. That's not true. The Quonset huts don't, but that was deliberate. Because I thought they look particularly cool. I think they kind of do. When you look up here, you can see just the light of inside it. And you can see through the light, the skylights. Which I think is kind of nice. Nice. Well, that's done. So that's ready to go for morning. There's nice bubbles going everywhere. I will have to check in the morning to see that they are all turning properly towards the sunrise. But for now, we just gotta wait. Because it's nighttime and there's nothing I can do. Only thing left would be to put some lights on the poles, maybe. Probably not a bad idea. I can do that from the cockpit. And weld them up. Oh no! Oof. Okay, do not load this thing up this much. This is too much. I tap down and I almost go straight into the ground. I should probably, now that I've done this much, also consider whether this is a place to put more turrets, since I took a turret off the Arboretum. And I think the answer to that is yes. Yes, this is a place I should put some turrets. I should probably start thinking about more turrets and more other defenses. If I'm thinking automated drones to protect me, some automated drones that say when a defense controller detects the presence of an enemy, that they take off and start going after it, or that I can remotely trigger their takeoff procedures with, say, a broadcast controller or an action relay. That would probably be a good idea. One of the reasons I've delayed building much on the trains for a while is that I know those enemies are there and that I'm going to trigger drones by attacking them, so I need better defenses here. And better ways of dealing with those drones and those bases so I can clear them. Having said all that about the train though, I still think I might actually go and do some train building because, well, I kind of feel like I haven't made enough progress on it recently and I really want to. So I might do a little bit of that during the dark hours so then we can check to make sure all of the stuff is working. Cargo is through here. I need to replace that door and the one downstairs with the better doors that we've now got because we've got glass doors, which we've obviously had for a while because I've used them elsewhere, but I just didn't remember to replace the ones in here. That's really all it was. Yeah, inverted. Nice. Does look much, much cleaner. There we are. Yeah, that makes me happy. Cool. Train time. Actually, before I go do the train, I'm going to grab these batteries and I'm going to put them all together. Put this over with the little red battery. Don't know why I'm collecting these batteries, to be honest. I don't really have the need for them. I've got plenty of resources. But it's a thing. I'm collecting them. Because, yes. Don't ask reasonable questions and expect reasonable answers about something like this. Because these are the newer ones. They can have that red paint. And now we have 3. The collection grows. I am very confused. Very confused. Oh, the brakes have gone off. That'd be it. Why have the brakes all gone off? Hey, there we go. Okay, but all the exhaust blocks are still going. Why is everything being weird? Why did all that trigger? Why, why do I get the impression that my safety devices are going to trigger unexpectedly at all sorts of random points? Oh well. After, you know, a few minutes trying to figure that out and remember what I'd done, I can now get on to building the train track a bit further. See if I can get another kilometre or two done. That'd be delightful. Something I keep forgetting to add, and I really need to add to the front of the train, is some floodlights and spotlights and things, because the train track is never going to have any lights of its own, so the train needs to provide the lights. And because I've got so much area illumination, I've kind of forgotten to do that on the train, but it is something that is important and I need to do. Man, I love shooting stuff to get rid of it when you don't need it anymore. Just satisfying. Also, these towers are getting really tall. As soon as I get into this valley, I need to drop some altitude a fair bit. I just don't want to do too much altitude dropping while I'm mid-turn. I did add a few extra bits of curving downward, so you can even appreciate the downward curve now, because it goes over a few blocks. You can see that so I'm hoping that that's at least arrested my ascent, because when I don't put the park brake on the train, it rolls backwards. So hopefully this section it'll at least not be rolling backwards, and hopefully be maybe rolling towards the end. Because I really do need to go downhill, but I also, if we have a look, it's a bit easier when I'm zoomed out, get a bit more light. I do need to get this curve going to get it to pass into that valley properly. So that's what I've been focused on. One thing I was just contemplating was, I wonder how well the train would cope if I tried to compound some of these things. Not compound it on a single joint, but rather, say, put this down, then, you know, set it up like I have been, where I push it through to the correct angle. So that's 2 degrees, gyro stance on, pop back in, and then I've been counting out to 10. What if instead I counted out 5? So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then put a pitch shift in, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another turn. I wonder whether that will be too many jolts, or whether that'll be smooth enough. I'm leaning towards I probably shouldn't do it. It just feels like it might be asking too much of the wheels to tolerate that sort of regular rhythmic hitting of hitting of the corners, because it really is a hit. It's not an ease around the corner, it's a hit. As you might have guessed from the fact that I haven't built the proper supports yet, I haven't decided how to do the proper supports yet. I am still not sure. They're not bad. I've made a couple 100 meters already. Just gotta refill this. Haven't used the refill thing in a while, so this is going to be interesting. Let's go and lock. Let's go and hinge. Sure that's... Select all, throw out. Okay, so yeah, it's just 6 I need to turn on. So, throw out. Check my inventory. On this grid. That's enough. Oh, it's definitely enough. There are plates just sitting on my roof. Well, that's handy, because I needed some to go into the cockpit, so I can actually build stuff from the cockpit. Oof. Feel that weight difference now that I'm carrying more steel plate again. Man, I love the natural curves. It's so good! Even though I know it's not really a curve. It's just kind of masquerading as one. Ooh, come on. You can slow down. That's better. Yeesh. Need to get some of these steel plate off. I definitely put too many in. It's interesting flying this welding ship after flying the other one. This design is so much better. Flatmos makes such a big difference to the capacity of things like this in a scenario like this one, where I've got really high gravity. Having flatmos and being able to have relatively densely packed thrust. Ah, makes welding ships so much better. Still delicate and terrifying to use by comparison to just using your jetpack, but nonetheless. Oh, my curve's actually ending up pretty solidly on this side, so I can go straight for a section and try and correct any roll that I might have accumulated and start getting that pitch down. Sweet. It's working out well. Yes, I am hungry. I know. Need that midnight snack. How do I want to do this? If I want to correct roll, I know I had a method before, but I'm just not sure if it was a good one because I kind of want it to roll properly around the middle of the block or the top of the block, which I can't really do unless I put the rotor in the chain and then remove the rotor from the chain after it's done its job, which means I'll need to make the static grid first, build this, and then remove this after. Alright, let's just do a test one anyway. See how far the angle is actually off to see how much I have to correct it. Yeah, that was my fear. It's actually a fair way off. Let's have a look at where the rotor wants to sit once I give it a little bit of braking torque. 358. This might not be so bad. I'm gonna check something. Oh, got those gunshots off just in time. Otherwise, I was gonna faceplant, and that would have ended very badly for me. So what I'm gonna try, I think it should be fine. It's popping a rotor in here. We're gonna move this just a half a degree, just a little bit, but it needs to go. I need to check out which way 358 was. I think 358 means it's rotating counterclockwise. Yeah, it's counterclockwise. All right, so lower limit 0, upper limit 0, lower limit -1. Although I'm actually going to go -0.5. I'm going to be really, really gentle about this. So that's 0.5 degree twist. We'll see how this looks when I put it up here. Now these need to move a little bit closer to one another. I need to get rid of that rotor offset. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think we can do a few half-degree turns, just gently bringing this back to vertical so that we're not getting too far. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do these in short sections because these aren't doing much. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's now do another test and see if this thing is pretty close to vertical, because that's 4 of them. 4? Yeah, that's 4 rotors, so that's 2 degrees. Let's see if that's putting me pretty much equal. How's this sitting? Oh yeah, positive 0.2 degrees. I will take that. Nice. Correction done. Let's shoot these off. Whoops. Let's create some debris on the ground. Why not? Now I can go back to the hinges and I can start losing some altitude. So we need to seriously lose some altitude. Oh, is this too low? Nah, it'll be alright. I think we need to go straight for a section now, which means I can probably bring the train down here and get it to do some of this building, since that's what it's designed to do. Oh, I'm losing a lot of altitude. I might have gone too far. I may need to level it off again. Maybe I shouldn't fly down here, because that's me shooting level, and that looks steep. Yeah, I think that might be too steep. Nah, it just looks steep. I think it's alright. Keep going. Oh no. I just ran out of power. Maybe I shouldn't fly down here. Oh no 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 no. That was meant to be my safety in case this happened. The train doesn't have an antenna. What could I do? I need an antenna relay, but my antenna can't broadcast to... Oh dear. Have I got enough steel plate? I've got 70 steel plate. I might be able to make a thing to climb up to the train. I think that's my best shot. How hard is it going to be to get this to go high enough? The train is very high up. This is definitely a problem of my own making, isn't it? Oh, man. I might have to even run back and get more stuff. I just gotta hope my oxygen lasts. I don't think I'd be able to run all the way home, which is why I thought this would be my better plan. No, no. Oh, no. Out of steel plate. Gotta go back. Get more. There's more on board. Quick, 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 quick. Run like the wind. There's no power. I can't use the conveyor system. Anyway, I can't grab stuff from there at all. That's enough. Oh, /GP. Oh, whatever. I know where it is. It's underneath the railway line. I've got to... Don't waste time making a GPS. Just get on the train. Ah! Do you know what I need on all my ships now? An event controller that has something that's probably linked to a broadcast controller that gives me an alarm when I have a small amount of power left. Because I do not pay enough attention to those things. But also, I don't think I can take all of the blame here. When you're doing that build from cockpit, you can't actually see how much power you have left. You have to switch out of that mode, so it's really easy to miss. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. I think it's a valid excuse. Okay, here we go. Alright, I'm on. I'm safe. Okay, we're going home. That's enough of that. Oh, man. Jeez. At least I know what I'm doing next time. I have to go and pick up the bed bug and fix it, as well as put some lights on the train because I can't see squat at night. So there's all that, and plenty more to come. Probably more stupid mistakes like that. And I will see you then.